And
Oh, you're getting it on YouTube this time. Okay.
yeah, I'm actually gonna make that happen.
Are you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
there you go. Holy crap, I figured it out. And
So proud of you.
yep, hello everybody in the world. It is good to have you guys here.
All 10 of us.
And we have got a great show for you tonight as Lorraine uh, heckles from the side. I'm Jim, and I put together the pop-up comedy show. It is a great lineup. There's some awesome comics, and I'm going to introduce you to your MC for the pop-up comedy show. You might know him from his own special Living Large on Amazon Prime, or you might know him, from playing Santa Claus at various locations. But we know him as an extraordinary comic, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John G. John G, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay for me! Thank you. Now, Jim, with that introduction, that means I actually have to have jokes to tell.
That would be a good thing.
That would be a good thing. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to talk about tonight. I think we got a great group of comedians. I'll talk about that for a second. We got a great group of comedians tonight. So all the audience members and everybody are going to have a great time. A lot of good friends of mine here on the show. But for me, I was actually like, today's one of those days you like look back over the last 3-4 months of pandemic and you try to figure out like, why did you spend so much time in bed? How many people have spent like a ton of time in bed over the last 3-4 months, right? Like I've never spent this much time in bed in my entire life as I did over the last 3 months. Not, and I wish I could say it was getting laid because I'm not getting laid either. I'm in bed by myself, I mean, Jesus Christmas. You can only watch so much porn and do all that kind of stuff. It's just not fun anymore. And then you sleep, but you don't want to get out of bed. You get up in the morning and you're like, why do you want to get out of bed? So that you can go sit in front of a computer, the same computer that you've been in front of for the last 6 months? I don't know, so like I'm trying to find out new things to do and, try to figure out some new hobbies and everything. I did get invited to do a little guest spot on a live comedy show this coming Saturday. So I'm all excited about going to the comedy show at an outdoor strip club. I'm really trying to figure out what's going to happen with the poles. Did they put strong enough poles on the tent? But strip club turned comedy club up in North Jersey. So that's going to be fun. I was watching on TV before Gwen Stefani and what the hell's the guy's name? Why do I always blow his name? Anyway, they were doing this drive-in concert thing where they were in the, that remote location and they were broadcasting it to a bunch of different drive-ins across the country. And I don't know about you guys, but that was boring. I mean, the music was good. It was great. The music was fun. I like both him and Gwen Stefani. I'm not a hollaback girl. It's my shit. But thank God I don't sing for a living. But it was like you were missing that cheering and the laughter and everything else. So I can't wait to do a live comedy show where I'm actually in front of people again. I'm pretty much resumed to the fact that, Jim was talking about me doing Santa Claus, and I've talked about this before, but pretty much resumed to the fact that this year is going to be virtual Santa. So I'm trying to work on a whole Santa routine so, I can make kids happy remotely. I guess you're gonna have to like fly in the gifts. Can you picture this? Use Amazon to like deliver the gifts ahead of time so that the gifts are already there, and then I can surprise the kids with the gifts from remotely. Anybody here been married before? Anybody married? Well, you are still married. You're still married. You're still married. There's a lot of married people.
I'm not married. No.
Oh, you're not married anymore?
No. Thank you.
My sentence was 32 years. Thank you. My sentence was 32 years. How long was your sentence?
Long enough.
Long enough? Yeah. Yeah.
Long enough.
Long enough. It's kind of funny, but when I got married, right? When we got married, I was born Baptist or raised Baptist, and she was a Catholic. And, she wanted to get married in the Catholic Church. So in order to get married in the Catholic Church, we had to do all that, pre-Cana classes and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if anybody's Catholic and everything, but it's funny. I'm sitting in this pre-Cana class and I really realized I was getting marriage and sex advice from a 40-year-old virgin and a dude who's never been married. I mean, like, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And at that time, you had to like sign your kids over. You had to say if you wanted to get married in the church, you had to sign your kids over and say that you were going to raise them Catholic. And at the time, I didn't think anything about it, but now I'm really glad I had girls. So, yeah. And I mean, I don't know. There's just crazy times. 32 years of marriage. During the course of being married, one time I was exercising to a videotape, and while I was exercising to this videotape, I actually was doing like the Taebo shit, and I was punching and kicking, and I accidentally kicked my wife, and she had me arrested. So after 30 some years of being married, you can actually end up being arrested for kicking your wife by accident. So, but it's funny because all this time I tried drugs, I tried going to the gym, I tried all this stuff about losing weight. Who knew it took depression and a pandemic to make it really work? I mean, if I knew it was that easy, I'd have just caught the flu or something. I don't know. But yeah, so although I don't know, lately I think I've been starting to eat again, so I gotta watch that. I was walking last week. I was walking, and it's kind of funny how some of you people got to do this stuff, right? You get out and you start exercising and you start walking and you start losing weight and you start feeling really good about yourself, and then you start thinking, well, then I can eat more, right? Because it doesn't matter because you're doing it to take it off, but it doesn't work that way. It comes back. So, all right. So since I really don't have a whole lot to talk about, I think I'm going to start pushing the show a little forward and bringing up your next comedian. And you're going to bring up this very funny young lady. Let's give it up for Jenya Starson. Jenya!
Hey guys! Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yay! Okay, well, congratulations on passing your survival test. Yeah, you may proceed to the next level, guys, where the ice is melting and releasing all those viruses that have been trapped there for such a long time that we don't know what they are, and we don't have funky names for them. The type of names that sound like a terrible sci-fi movie sequel. Star Wars, the COVID-19 pandemic. May the immunity be with you. So clearly I survived the pandemic, at least for now. And I'll tell you how I did it. I listened to the scientists. And the scientists said that 60% alcohol kills the virus. So I was 60% alcohol 90% of the time. I still remember the beginning of the pandemic, guys, like it was only 5 months ago. The biggest challenge for me back then was to find a mask, because I couldn't find a mask anywhere, so I had to improvise. And I looked through all the YouTube videos on how to do your own mask. And my favorite one was where they tell you to take a scarf and place period pads in between the folds, and then cover your mouth and nose with it. And that was the moment when I realized why they make scented pads. Because that always baffled me. I was like, why are they making scented pads? Like, my vagina cannot smell. Who is this for? Like, if it's not for me, like, is it for a guy at the bar who's desperately trying to get a one-night stand? Like, am I supposed to be like, hey, I have my period, but would you like to go down and smell my pad? It's Fresh Meadows. You don't get those in New York City. I don't like to talk about my personal life, guys. It's because I don't have a personal life. I know it's a very popular women's movement right now, like happily single. But honestly, I just prefer to be in the relationship because dating sucks. Okay, dating is the reason why I don't date. I just want to go from hi, my name is Jenya to I do in the least amount of dates possible. Because you can go on the dates with your husband, right? They're going to be boring, but they're going to be comfortable. Okay, you don't have to spend much time getting ready for a date with your husband. I mean, he's already seen you drooling on the pillow while you sleep. I mean, no amount of makeup is going to erase that from his memory. And you don't have to order a salad anymore, right? You don't have to pretend that you're so full on those 2 leaves of lettuce. No, you can finally order pizza and burger and all that food that makes it all greasy. You're like all the back of your neck is greasy. How this happens, I have no idea. But you don't have to sit at the restaurant and entertain your date anymore or contemplate whether you're going to have sex with your date or not, because with your husband, you know for sure sex is not happening. Okay, not after all this food. You're just gonna go home and sit on the couch for the rest of the evening, farting and burping. Okay, and the most that's gonna happen is that he's just gonna grab your boob and maybe squeeze it a couple of times. Okay, that's his way of saying, hon, I would totally have sex with you, but my entire body is concentrating on digesting that 5-pound sandwich. So next week, maybe. I don't know. Being married is fun, guys. Like, you finally have someone to blame all your life failures on. Like, I could have become a race car driver if I didn't marry you. You can't drive. Facts are not relevant in this conversation. I feel sorry for the couples who are divorcing right now, after getting stuck in quarantine together. But I'm like, listen, if you were not ready to handle being with this person 24/7, like, how did you plan to spend your retirement with them? Like, or did you plan on not making it that far in life? Like, what was your train of thought when you agreed to marry that person? Was it like, well, I work 8 hours plus overtime, 2 hours to commute, 8 hours to sleep, talking to my friends and family, Facebook, eating, shitting. Oh, look, like I only have to spend 2 hours a day with my spouse. I can totally do that. And then I'm going to hit 65 and then bye bitches. See you next life. Like, was that the plan? I honestly think people should not be allowed to get married until they realize that life doesn't always go according to your plan. Like, let's take John Rockefeller, for example. He wanted to make $1 million and live till he's 100 years old. And he made 200 million and died at 97. So not all your dreams come true, bitches. Just deal with it. Thank you, guys. I am Jenya, and back to you, Uncle John. Thank you.
Right. 97 years old. I don't know if I want to handle that. All right, so let's keep this going. We're going to bring up your next comic. Very funny gentleman, Cats. Just Cats. Come on. Yay!
So wait, John, you said that you sleep alone and you're not getting laid?
No.
So even you won't sleep with yourself?
Even I won't sleep with myself.
Wow, that's got to be
That's
be a
pretty
little
bad.
Anyway, so during these times I've been watching a lot of time travel movies lately, because I want to travel to a time that I actually enjoyed. But when you talk to people, like, and they tell you about like what they would do, 9 times out of 10 the thing that they would do, the first thing they would do is go back and kill baby Hitler. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I could ever like kill an innocent, precious baby that wasn't mine. You know, so anyway, like during this whole time, I've also been reading a lot of self-help books because look at me, kind of need all the help I can get. But really, I need to build up some confidence. I'm severely lacking in that area. It's so bad that I can't even use the bathroom in public, you know. And I'm not talking about what Gina said. I'm just talking about, like, you know, taking a piss. You know, I can't do that in public. I just constantly think that I'm being judged, you know. And no, not like by the size of my package, because that's as small as it's gonna get. I'm talking about, like, I don't want to be labeled less of a man just because of the power of my stream, you know. It's like I'm standing there at the urinal with a dollar store squirt gun, and the guy next to me is power washing the ceiling. Like, how can I measure up to that? So it's like I'm reading these books, and I'm hoping either they will help me build the confidence, so, you know, just let it go, or else I'm gonna have to start cross training or crossfitting, and hope that there's some kind of Kegel exercise with kettlebells that I can do to help me strengthen that up. You know, I gotta do something, right? I guess you guys aren't into that. That's fine. That's fine. It is my cross to bear. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine. I hope. So, you know, like you said, like there are so many. There are like thousands and thousands of these self-help books out there. You know, like seven habits of successful people, how to win friends, blah blah blah. Do you think that there's like anti self-help books out there? Like maybe some successful, like, millionaire, billionaire is just tired of always getting what he wants. You know, maybe he's looking for some other kind of challenge. Like maybe, just maybe, if Kanye had read a book called "Yes, Your Shit Does Stink," maybe he would think twice about running for president. I don't know. That's just, you know, just things that I'm worried about. So I love bacon. I can't, like, I eat like 3 to 4 strips every day. Just the smell of it helps wake me up. It invigorates me, you know. And like, I know everybody says that they love bacon, but do you guys use the bacon grease to masturbate? Like, seriously, give it a whirl. It is like, it's free lubricant, you know, and it, like, when you actually are at the urinal, it smells like bacon. So it's a win-win-win. How can you go wrong? Just, oh. Hold on, I gotta go turn over the bacon. I'll be right back.
All right, give it up for cats. All right. I'm never gonna think about bacon again the same ever.
No, it is.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna eat it again. No, I'm just kidding. Of course I'll eat bacon. I'm a fat guy. All right. All right, let's just keep this going. We're gonna give it up for James DeSalvo. James, all right.
Thank you very much. John, you're the fat guy, really. I've been gaining weight this whole pandemic. I'm so fat now I pretend I'm someone else during sex, all right? And I discovered, we went years ago, well, not years ago, months ago, before we had this whole horrible thing about restaurants, the dessert cart is the brothel of the restaurant world. It is emasculating. Oh, it's true. My wife and I went out to this fancy restaurant, violin music, candlelight on table, no free breadsticks. The meal was great. And then in comes the big madam of the dessert cart, her big heaving bosoms, a button straining about to pop me in the eye with that, and just starts her spiel. Well, sir, we have many desserts. We have a thick, dense chocolate torte that's a bit much for most men. Although we also have the delicious tiramisu. It's lighter. That's a favorite of the ladies. Okay? And of course, average torts and cheesecakes, things like that. So, what'll be your pleasure? They all look so good. Well, then, why don't you have two? That is, if you can handle it. If I want to have my manhood questions, my wife and I could have stayed home. She could have yelled at me all night, all right? Good. But even then, even back in high school, everyone thought I was gay. Nothing wrong with that, but when you're 17 and trying to get laid, it doesn't help. I brought it on myself. You know, I was in drama club and French club and chess club, where all the macho guys hung out. But the biggest thing was high school graduation. My friend Cynthia says, oh, instead of just like yelling and cheering, we'll blow bubbles. Great. So guess who made the front of the local paper blowing bubbles? It wasn't just blowing bubbles, it was this. Yes. Okay, you could have me with the guy in front of me and behind me like I'm on a rotisserie spit. Wouldn't be as gay as. And I've been watching all these Nightmare on Elm Street movies lately. And Freddy Krueger comes in, he's carving up kids and slicing them up. And I realize, you know what? These kids are idiots. They're assholes. They deserve it. Because they're always dreaming in someone to save them. Like, oh, my daddy will help me. Oh, grandma will do it. Oh, my dog will do it. And they all get wiped out. That happens to me. I'm dreaming in Chuck Norris. Not pussyfooting around. I'm here. I'm going to carve your soul out. What are you going to do? You got grandma? Well, no. Ooh, your daddy? No, I got Chuck Norris. Fuck, all right. I got some elementary school kids I got to visit anyway, okay? Then there are things that automatically make you an asshole. You could be the nicest person in the world. You do these things, you're automatically an asshole. Number one, getting behind the wheel of a BMW. You could be Mother Teresa, but once you turn that key, automatic asshole. She'll be washing the feet of the homeless, but she'll hop in, click that seatbelt. She's going down asshole road, not obeying the speed limit, cutting off the Pope, not even using her turn signal, cell phone on, cranking Springsteen. Then she'll speed back into the convent parking lot, taking up 2 spots, toss the keys to some novice and say, you know what? Go to some of their shady tuts, and then go back inside and wash the feet of the homeless. Maybe flaunting your college degrees another time. You go out, you go to the mechanics for your car, getting it fixed. And well, you need a new radiator and carburetor. Hold it. I have a master's degree in philosophy, all right? You can't pull the wool over my eyes. Why don't you just check the washer fluid in the radio one more time, okay? Also, homeschooling your kids. Listen, excuse me, I've been to school. I know how it's done. Yeah, I go to the doctor. I'm not doing home surgery, am I? No. And every generation just gets weaker and weaker. I mean, come on, there are complaints about, oh, I can't get a haircut. Oh, I can't do this. I mean, Cal Smoothies, I'm a little bitch at times, pardon me. If I don't have my soy latte, I just get whiny and grumpy. Our ancestors would come back and kick our asses, and you know it. I mean, women in the old days, farming in Ireland, pregnant, they're out there pushing the plow, baby drops out. Doesn't just boom. And she's still pushing the plow, baby's bouncing along behind her on the ground. And that kid better be working back there. Pick up some potatoes, and there's the I'm not doing this, come on. And my grandfather, same thing, came off the boat from Ireland, big 6'5" tough guy. Made Liam Neeson look like Betty White. He used to build old steam locomotives, cut his pinky off to here, hanging off on the job, takes the tin strips, cuts the rest of it off, steams it shut, and the boiler goes back to work. I get a paper cut. I want workman's comp. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Back to your host.
Hey, give it up for James!
Thanks.
Woo! Glad I didn't work in Ireland. Whew. I like my fingers. Oh man. All right, let's keep this going. Let's give it up for Stuart Gibbel. Stuart!
Hooray!
Hey.
Woohoo!
Thanks for coming, people. I see we have some friends in the house. Ola in Argentina. Anyway, I'm just looking around, trying to get the vibe. The pros call it reading Zoom to figure out what I should talk about today. And I'm sensing you want me to talk about politics. And I know some of you are saying you've heard enough politics, but in my mind, politics is like tequila. You don't know you've had too much until it's way too late. So here we go.
Or you're a little.
AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is in the news. She was accosted by a fellow member of Congress, Congressman Yoho, who called her a fucking bitch. And then when he went to apologize, he said, well, he didn't really mean it. And it's all because he loves his country too much and he's too passionate about it and he's a real patriot. I call that the Newt Gingrich defense. When Newt was caught having affairs, he said he did it because he's a true patriot and he loves his country. All I know about patriotism, I learned from my father, who on the 4th of July, put out the flag, grabbed some beer, and watched baseball on TV. He never cheated on his wife, so I'm going to have to question his patriotism. Also, for me, I love my country, but I'm not willing to get remarried and cheat on my mistress to prove it. You just have to accept it. Herman Cain passed away from the coronavirus a couple weeks ago. He got it at a Trump rally. You remember Herman Cain? He ran for president. And before that, he was CEO of Godfather's Pizza. He's moved over to Tombstone now.
Not for.
Speaking of death, someday Donald Trump is going to die. I know. And people are going to say we should do an autopsy. There's going to be those of you who want to study his brain. There's going to be others who think we need to do a talk screen. But I just want to know how much the motherfucker weighs, because I have a bet and I want to win. So hopefully I'll get my answer soon. Louis Gohmert also came down with the coronavirus. He's using the drugs that the FDA doesn't approve of. And he says it's between him and his doctor. And I say, Louis, do abortion next, okay? Anyway, moving on. There's a lot of news about the environment and green politics, and the green people have got me to change my life. I recycle all the time. I take shorter showers, and I don't drive unless I have to. But there's one thing they want to do. It's that they want me to give up meat and replace it with crickets. You heard it right, crickets, the insect. They want me to eat crickets. And I'm thinking, I don't think so. First of all, how are they going to advertise these crickets? It's going to be more crickets than the leading brand, GMO-free crickets. Our crickets are gluten-free. But then I said, hey, why don't we just ship all the crickets to China? Let them eat crickets. And I thought about it, and it's kind of racist, number one. But number two is that everything we ship to China comes back to us. And sooner or later, we'll have stir-fried crickets, cricket fried rice, and we'll have crickets in our mouths. And I think that's a I don't want my crickets either sweet or sour. No crickets. And they call these people cricket farmers. Shouldn't they be ranchers? You know, I know they don't want to go to the rancher convention, you know, and have to hear about how some guy had 10,000 cattle, another guy had 20,000 hogs, and they have 1 billion crickets on their ranch. As far as I'm concerned, if it comes down to eating crickets, I say we pack it in. We had a good run. It's over. And finally, and this is the part where some of you guys say maybe I've gone too far, as I warned at the beginning, but I have some advice for women. What entitles me to give women advice? Well, I have a penis, and you're gonna have to take my word for it. I've made it 59 years without sending a dick pic. I'm not starting now. Here it goes. Ladies, you have to smile more after you put on the mask. People have been giving you that advice for decades. It's time to listen. You could smile with the mask on, and you're really just telling the whole world to fuck off and getting away with it. So go for it. Thank you.
Yay, give it up for Stuart. Great job there, Stuart.
All right.
59 and no dick pics. I get that. I get that. You don't send dick pics when you're a fat guy like me. Anyway, let's keep this going. Let's give it up for Lorraine Max Epstein. Hey, and it's all you.
Okay, Stuart, I've made it to almost 67 and I haven't sent any dick pics either.
But how many have you received?
I'm not telling. And honestly, John, you asked before if we've been spending more time in bed. I don't dare. 30 years of marriage. I don't want to stay there. It's an invitation.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, we're all stuck at home. And yeah, I've been watching a lot more television, just like everybody else. And lately, my favorite show has been the Titan Games. If you've never watched the Titan Games, though, it's basically Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has convinced a bunch of producers to spend thousands of dollars on strength equipment that he never has to prove that he can do. But the participants on there, I mean, truly, they are not of this earth. They are not human. If you've ever doubted alien life in this world, watch the Titan Games. These people are amazing. And honestly, watching it, I can understand being passionate about something. I really can. But what suddenly makes you want to get behind an activity that makes you just lift heavy things up just to put them back down again? I mean, truly, because the only thing you're gaining from this activity is being able to pick up heavier objects to put them back down. I mean, where does it end? So honestly, I'm obviously not hanging out in the gym. That's where the weightlifting support groups meet. And that's why I also met my husband in a bar, because you don't have any athletic expectations of somebody you meet in a bar. And honestly, he's 5'9". He's Jewish. So I'm a realist. I don't think there's going to be an NFL scout behind him looking to sign him for a contract unless it's to carry the clipboard behind the coach. Though I have hung around for 30 years to see if I'm wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a good guy. He's a trophy husband, a participation trophy husband, but a trophy husband. But he's not an athlete by any sense of the word. His family tree does not grow by the stadium. Now, the morning after I gave birth to my son, he walked in with a big grin on his face holding a baseball bat. Now, my first thought, after wondering whether I should duck and run, was, does he know what that is? I really truly think that may have been the first time he had that kind of a bat in his hand. Now, I have also considered making sports equipment flashcards for him just to help him out. But I'm afraid his inability to learn will be a reflection on me. And honestly, I'm afraid of a few things. Okay. I'm afraid to call helplines. All right. I'm really afraid to call help. I'm afraid I'm going to ruin their day. Now, I'm also afraid to call helplines because I'm afraid the person on the other end is going to be so much more unstable than me that they're going to go home and kill themselves. When I was younger, I used to hate going out to get shoes. I have a larger foot, and when I was younger, that was embarrassing for me. And honestly, when I was younger, I didn't understand that if I was a man, that would be a good thing. I'm also afraid to jump out of a plane with my husband because I'm afraid I have no impulse control. Think about it. I'm also afraid of walking into a liquor store and asking an employee about what wine would be good, because guaranteed I'm going to get the one employee in the store that actually knows wine, and they're going to judge me. I'm afraid to put out ant traps because I'm afraid the ants are going to think it's a buffet and invite their friends. And basically, I'm afraid that the pandemic has actually proved that I am a hermit. That's my time, folks.
Hey, Lorraine, good job. Good job. Man, I'm going to call up your husband, tell him make sure you don't have any knives when you're getting on that. Cut that parachute right out of there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know. All right, let's keep this going. Let's give this up for Franz Kyle. Franz!
Yes!
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. I want to start this set by giving you all a public service announcement. The revolution is coming, and none of you have enough Black friends. And I'm not talking about your doorman or the crossing guard at your kid's school, or even the Uber driver that you gave a 5-star rating and they were so happy they decided to give you their personal card and now drive you around like Morgan Freeman from Driving Miss Daisy. And none of these people are actually going to be able to protect or educate you when the revolution comes. And I'm sure many of you are sitting there going, but Franz, I've already done the work. I've watched The Help. Viola Davis is my favorite actress. I've listened to all of Bob Marley's music. White Fragility is my favorite audiobook. And I sit there and I go, yeah, but that's really not good enough. And other of you will actually say, but Franz, I already have a Black friend. And I checked on them when all of this stuff was happening. And I made sure, and I told them, I'm here for you during these turbulent times. And I asked them, if you could please tell me how I can be a better white ally. And I actually went out and bought my Black friend a dinner through Seamless. What the fuck? You bought them dinner through Seamless to show them that you cared? This isn't a repast. Actually died. Well, actually, people did die. So, but it's still not a potluck. And then some of you will be like, you're used to actually the Charles Schultz consideration of how many black friends that you need. Because, you know, Charlie Brown had Franklin. But what you don't realize is that Franklin was passed around throughout the entire Peanuts gang. He had to take care of Lucy. He had to take care of Linus. He had to take care of Peppermint Patty and Snoopy and Woodstock. Franklin was exhausted. So that's why I'm here to offer you my services as another black friend for a price. For $20 a week, I'll let you tell people that I'm your black friend. For $50 a week, I'll actually like you on Instagram and Facebook and follow you on Twitter. Because as we all know, if it doesn't happen on social media, it didn't really happen. And for $100 a week, I'll allow you to come and call me up on my own personal cell phone and share with me all of your white guilt. And I know some of you are sitting there going, but Franz, those prices are really high. Why can't I just go out and get my own black friends? Well, as we have seen throughout history, whenever we ask white people to go out and find black people for jobs, you always say you can't find qualified candidates. So you can just use personal diversity and inclusion professional.
Oh.
And then some of you will sit there and say, oh, but Franz, you know, what is it that you can do that's special? And why is it that I can't just find a black friend down the street? And I'll say, well, because not all black friends are created equal. You might end up with a black friend that will cause you more problems than you asked for. You might end up with Nick Cannon. Or Kanye West. Or the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And for the love of God and everything that's holy, with craisins in your potato salad, you might end up with Terry Crews. And I'm sure many of you are like, but Franz, I love Terry Crews. He's so great in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I loved him in Idiocracy. I mean, that's damn well near a documentary at this point. And I get it. It makes sense. Terry Crews was also in Friday and Black Chicks. So he works on both ends of the spectrum, both dark and light. But he's done some controversial things now in the black community. And I'm trying to save you from being brought in on that horribleness because it will reflect poorly on you. And I'm not mad at him because he didn't back Gabrielle Union when she said that there was racist things going on America's Got Talent. Because let's be clear, we never back black women on anything anyway. And we weren't mad at Kanye West on his presidential campaign because Terry sees opportunity everywhere. And he was thinking maybe there's a cabinet position that could be a part of this. Something like Minister of Education. Oh, wait, that's a job description for the Black Panther Party. That wouldn't work for him. And we weren't mad at him when he said that can't allow Black Lives Matter usurp White Lives Matter, or else then we become the racists. And I wasn't even mad at him when he decided to claim the acronym Conquer Our Own Negativity. Cool. because he wanted that word
Oh, God.
using for him to become more positive. But no, I'm upset with Terry Crews.
God.
Decided that he wanted to start hashtag defund Pornhub. You stupid Uncle Ruckus. You can't defund Pornhub. It's a private company.
Oh,
Conservatives don't want you to defund Pornhub. You're going to ruin marriages. When I asked my wife for me to give up Pornhub for Lent, she said, hell no. No way I'm going to let you pound on my body for 40 days and 40 nights just so that you can get into heaven. That's why Terry Crews can't be your black friend. Thank you and have a good night.
Hey, everybody, give it up for Franz. All right. I don't think those prices are too exuberant. I think you do a good job at it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's keep this right on going. Let's give it up for Isabel Pierre. Isabel!
Isabel!
I felt yeah, Franz. How's it going, you guys? How's everyone doing? Is everyone else? Oh, so someone going to answer? Is everything okay?
We're live.
Is everyone on the quarantine shower schedule like I am? See, anytime I lift up my arm and I can smell my vagina, I know it's time. It's been too long. Been too long, you guys. I am super jealous of all the role models young black women have right now. It's like there was no black girl magic when I was growing up. There was no Black is King, you know. I coughed up the Disney Plus subscription for that one. And don't get me wrong, I am a worshiper at the holy grail of Our Lady Beyonce. Yeah. But I always felt weird about celebrating blackness in the context of monarchies. Because monarchs were notorious assholes, right? And I want black to be some sort of like egalitarian, utopian commune, except nobody black would go there because that's white people shit, let's be real. I love podcasts. Love, 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 love. They've been getting me through this time, except I can't listen to podcasts pre-March 2020 because there's too much joy in people's voices, too much promise. Anytime I listen to an old episode, I'm like, if only you knew. At this point, some of my most intimate relationships are with Facebook and Instagram ads. They know exactly what I want and when to give it to me. You know, and they understand my cycle. The ads know to show up a few times. I watch the video, you know, we're flirting. Then I bookmark the post, you know. And about 2 weeks later, bam, I've made a purchase. I'm starting to understand that movie Her, where the guy falls in love with the AI. So I keep filling out all these surveys because now that we're dating, I want the AI to get to know me better. You know, maybe it's like the 5G network picking up my thoughts. Yeah? Doing spooky shit. That's some weird shit, right? 5G network conspiracy theories. Have you guys heard of these? They interfere with the thoughts and your energetic wavelengths, and also they brought COVID. And listen, I believe in some woo-woo shit. You know, I wear crystals. I speak to my ancestors. I've gotten high enough to come to the conclusion that Earth is basically a prison planet where damned souls reincarnate over and over again until they learn their lessons and then they can ascend. To make like COVID a weird sort of collective freshman year of high school, you know? Like a super long line at the DMV forever and ever and ever. And I'm trying to ascend to a higher plane, you guys. I don't want to come back to this cesspool of suffering when it's done. And COVID is some sort of lesson that means God has asked us to like sit down and like slow down and get to know our shit. So I'm doing my earth homework. And every time I see photos of like maskless people gathered in groups, I get on my weirdo high horse and I'm like, all you assholes are going back to earth prison when you die. Well, I'll be snacking on ambrosia with the gods because I did my homework. To be fair though, I think my predisposition for depression gave me an advantage during this time. I'm calling it lack of chemical balance privilege. Like so many people believed in the American dream, and like so many people believed that all things were gonna go well. And for so many years, like my depression and anxiety was like everything is terrible all the time. So now I'm pretty like even, you guys. If anyone needs advice on how to handle this time, let me know. But in truth, now everyone is depressed. And frankly, I feel like all of you stole my shtick, you know? Because I wanted to be the center of misery and despair. You know, I was quarantining before quarantining was a thing. My body is like, oh, we're going to overeat and stay in bed all day. That's just a Tuesday. Ready, let's do this. I've been noticing a lot of like weird shit about myself too, like how I talk to electronics. Do you guys talk to your electronics? I have no respect for my microwave. I'm always like, shut the fuck up, I'm coming. When my preheats, I speak to it in like gentle whispers. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know you're ready. I basically purr at my laptop. Anytime my cell phone makes a noise, I run like a mother running to her infant. I still have dreams of becoming famous one day, you guys. Getting everything I ever wanted. But I think my dream is a little different. I dream of being like 55, super famous, and fucking girl personal trainer, you know? I want their arm around me at film premieres. I want them to rub sunscreen all over my body at the beach and have it caught by the paparazzi. Which would mean right now my dream lover is about 7. So, I mean, we won't have much to talk about, but we'll always have COVID. That's it for me, you guys. Thanks so much.
Hey, give it up for Isabel. All right. All right. Are you guys ready for your headliner this evening? Yes. We have got the Greek goddess of comedy coming on next. Let's give it up for Ellen Karas. Ellen!
I'm overwhelmed. My career has hit a new high. Zoom, in my bed. Just want you to know, because I'm such a big star, I don't get out of bed for more than $10. So, you know, I don't. I think it was Linda Evangelista said she didn't get out of bed for more than 10,000, but I'm 10. So that's just 10, and that's it. Fantastic. I know there was a lot of talk about to race and you know, I'm Greek. It's like I'm like olive-ish, and nobody cares about Greeks anymore, because honestly, there's 5 Greeks left, and Jim Mandrinos is one of them. Of the show, myself and John Stamos. That's it. That's all we've got. Nobody's talking about Greece or Greeks or souvlaki or it hasn't been a big fat Greek wedding movie in 10 years. So we're done. We are extinct. We're right there with the 8-track. Anyway, this has been an incredible experience, this whole COVID. And, you know, I had goals when it started. I thought I'll you know what? I started to learn French years ago. I'll pick that up. Maybe I'll try to learn piano. I'll get one of those little portable keyboards. I'll make banana bread. And I have to tell you, what are we in it now? 4 months, and I haven't even dusted my bedroom. So and I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I have procrastinated, that I haven't done anything. I want to come out of this thing without the virus and feeling unfulfilled. Those are my two main goals. You know, I get into the whole, you know, you get online, and especially like late at night. I have I have two brains, each of which don't work very well. But the late night brain is like the binge eater. And then I get on my laptop and I just start. It's like the Googling brain, you know, and you just go into that hole. And I mean, I think I'm pretty much older than all of you, maybe. Yes, I'm sure. So I see a lot of old TV, and then I start seeing where a lot of these stars are. And I spent one evening Googling who is Frank Sutton. And nobody's going to know who that is, but he was Sergeant Carter on Gomer Pyle. And I spent hours, and I realized that information is so useless that even on Jeopardy, nobody would ever say, who is Frank Sutton? Like, that would never be a question. But a whole evening went by on the life and times of Frank Sutton. And thank God he died at 55, because, you know, I still would have probably been reading about him. I know that didn't sound nice, but what the fuck? It doesn't matter. People aren't nice anymore. Like Ellen DeGeneres, right? I mean, did that bust our bubble? Right? Because I mean, either she's a great actress, or people are lying, or maybe somebody like me wants her seat. And listen, if I replace Ellen, they don't even have to change the cups. I mean, I'm totally fine with it, and I'll dance and I'll do whatever you want. But it's okay. So listen, I'm not saying she should be mean to the staff and treat them like crap, but tonight, because I was Googling, because I'm on the verge of going into my OCD Googling brain as I'm waiting, there was a guy that she grew up with, and he said that Ellen bullied him when he was 11. Listen, and called him fat. All right, listen, grow a pair of balls, okay? And you probably were a little fat fuck, all right? And you probably... He should have said that to you. So, you know, let's really separate what's hurtful to what's truthful. You know what I'm saying? So what is with the late night shows, right? So, okay, again, TV, the whole landscape of TV is different. Everybody, like what we're doing now, this is a professional TV show. Our technical quality is exactly as it is on Trevor Noah. Like, this is the same quality that people are getting from cable. Okay, fine, I get it. But what I don't understand is, like, why Conan O'Brien is on. Comb your fucking hair, okay? I mean, had spinach in his teeth. Like, at least take a shower, okay? Like, we are all gonna make money maybe from the tip jar, okay? They still are under contract with a network. Dress up, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Brush your teeth. They're green. Just a little pet peeve. This thing is like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, we're all angry and nothing, and you know, there's no solutions in the politics and the vaccine, and I want to put a chip in my ass, and sure, no problem, sure. Everybody's waiting for the vaccine. Okay. Again, I'm not anti-vaccination or anything, and if it works, that's great. But not for nothing. But it takes like, I don't know, a decade to see if these things really work. So I'm waiting for the blood plasma. That's kind of what I'm sort of hoping for. But everything is different. Like, I live in a doorman building, not a fancy one. The only thing fancy is we do have the doorman, but that's it. Everything else is plain vanilla. So I walk in one day, there's the doorman behind a plexiglass. I mean, it's just bizarre. And I walk in and I just, I'm looking, and it's a whole new way of talking to the doorman. I'm like, hey, Omar, do I have any packages from Amazon? And can I put a bet on the third race at Aqueduct? Like, I feel like I'm, you know what I mean? It's like the weirdest thing. It's not even normal. Now we actually, new neighbors had moved in right when the COVID thing happened, and they had a baby, a brand new baby. And just want you to know that the baby cries all the time. It's one of those, the colicky ones, the ones that you don't want, the ones that you should leave at the hospital and hope somebody takes. Also, they're so paranoid, they won't bring any boxes in the apartment. They're those COVID people. You know what I'm saying? They leave them in the hallway. They open them up in the hallway. They leave them in the hallway. And I was thinking, it's been 4 months. Now I know why the baby cries. Get the fuck out of the house. Let the kid have some sunlight, for Christ's sake. The guy opens the door, he's got a hazmat, so he's got a mask. If you're wearing a mask in your house, you're a douche, okay? I'm telling you, if you are in the car by yourself, windows rolled up, and you've got a mask on, you're a douche. There you go, all right? I should have a talk show, because I'm mean. All right, so anyway, it's really pissing me off. We've all lost work. No, let me tell you who's still working. Fucking Marie Osmond. That's who's working, okay? I want to know what pictures of animals she has of people, all right? She's on the diet thing, the exercise thing. She got those ugly dolls she's been still peddling since the 80s. I think this woman sells everything but crack, okay? I'm pretty sure. But Mormon, my ass. I mean, hey, honey, I'm glad you're getting a fucking paycheck, not the rest of us. Let's see. Oh, I found, I was going to clean some stuff out. Do you think it's time that I should throw out my Walkman? I'm just wondering. I don't know. Lots of revelations. I made cauliflower rice, and it tastes like old socks, just in case anybody is curious. It's disgusting. And I've become a Zoom snob. I have to tell you, I've become a Zoom snob. I'm very upset when people don't know how to mute and the video. And I'm like, I get very, very upset. So that's kind of like my new pet peeve, in addition to my old pet peeves. Okay, so I'm married. Let me address this thing. Okay, so my husband is I'm just gonna say he's in the other room. He doesn't care. He thinks it's I'm still doing the comedy thing. Are you really doing the comedy thing? Like now? Like you couldn't make it when it was good, So he's very cheap. Even before all this, he's very cost conscious and stuff like that. But now it's like over the top, and now it's like every meal's the last supper when we sit down. Like, we might not have food again. Okay. And gets very upset when I go to Whole Foods. He's like, how much did they bang you for that? That's how he says it. Banging. All right. Anyway, let's not go crazy. We cannot buy anything organic because as far as he's concerned, organic is a big ripoff. Let me tell you, everything we eat has the most pesticides of any food ever, okay? Because that's the cheaper food. My body is filled with Roundup. I mean, I am just, which is why I'm pretty, well, that and the short, fat Greek genes, that's pretty much it. Boy, I can't believe I'm getting laughter. So I guess I'll just say one more thing. I know Jim was very generous in giving me time, but I don't want to just completely ramble. So I've always had FOMO, looking through social media, it's always made me feel inept, even in bad times, but I mean, even in good times. Now with this, I'm not eating fancy food. I'm not hanging out with friends outside and social distancing. I mean, I'm just not, and even the comics, like I commend comics, man. Like people are working, they're putting content out there, they're making videos, they're making TikTok and stuff. I realized after this whole thing, I'm in this business almost 20 years. I have no dry bar special. I don't have an avatar of myself, and I've never met Danny Aiello, which it seems to be a very popular thing with comics. So I guess that's it for me. Thanks for having me, Jim. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, give it up for Ellen. And then give it up for all the comedians that were here today. Hey, y'all did a great job. And give it up for the audience too. Thanks for coming by. Jim, you didn't say anything. You want to say anything, Jim?
No, everyone did awesome. I love watching you guys perform. This is my entertainment for the week.
I'm sad for you.
Yes, Tom.
Don't make me come through the Zoom platform, people.
You gotta go talk to your wife.
Yeah, you need Disney Plus or something.
You need a black friend. That's what you need.
That's what you need. Yeah, there you go.
You can only watch The Mandalorian so many times, people.